Is your username the Booking Golfer? Because if it is, you've won a copy of We Were Liars. Please contact me and I'll get that to you ASAP. On the topic of We Were Liars, you know I got to meet E. Lockhart a few weeks ago. How amazing was that? Oh my god, guys, are you on the right channel? Because this appears to be a monthly to be read video and Stevie doesn't do monthly to be read videos. Until now. Yeah, I thought I'd give it a go. I mean, I'm not sure I'll stick with it. I'll try, but I find reading a book the most horrendous of chores if it doesn't match exactly with the mood I'm currently in. And I find predicting that from the beginning of the month quite hard. But having said that, I really like the glimpse I get into other people's reading through these kind of videos. So I thought I'd try and present you with a spy hole into my literary habits. I've decided to start how I probably mean to go on, by cheating. The beginning of the year is when everyone sets their new reading challenges. I've gone for an easy 70 books this year. And it seems like such slow progress. January is the month in which those goals seem to be so far away, in which your reading speed appears to be glacial. So my way around this at the beginning of the year is to concentrate on books I started last year but have yet to finish. Yeah, I'm actually awful at abandoning books. I mean, I don't tell myself I'm abandoning them. I just read another book for a little while, and a little while longer. And then it's a year later, my original book has cultivated a dust people upon its cover, and I've forgotten everything that happened in the first 94 pages. The ultimate testament to what a fickle reader I am can be found on my Goodreads account, where it says I am currently reading 37 different works. So to get me going in January, I thought I'd pick 6 of these half-consumed tomes and actually finish them. So the first I've dug out is Going Bovine by Libba Bray. As many of you might remember, Libba Bray's Beauty Queens is one of my favourite books in the world. But Going Bovine, although I liked it, didn't grip me in the exact same way. It again takes a fairly surreal point of view as Cameron, our main character who has been diagnosed with CJD, otherwise known as mad cow disease, takes a last final road trip, in which the lines between reality and hallucinations can be quite hard to ascertain. I will admit I found this book quite funny and quite moving, but in a very slow way, and I clearly got distracted by something shiny off in the distance. The second book I'm going to try and finish is Murakami's 1Q84 Parts 1 and 2. I got lent this by a friend so long ago that the amount of time I've been borrowing their copy just borders on out-and-out theft. Although this book is adult and thus has less silly jokes and more gritty sex scenes than the last, it has a lot of similarities too. Both seem to focus on that line between reality and the surreal. In the few pages I've managed so far, there was definitely a falling down the rabbit hole homage, and since then nothing's been quite what it seems. For my third choice, I thought I'd go with a bit more standard a plot line, so I'm returning to The Final Empire, the first in Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn trilogy. This book was fine. It was a good, solid fantasy book, but my problem was that I loved Brandon Sanderson's Way of Kings series so much that I spent my whole time reading this just annoyed that it was its own story, just wanting more of the last series. I think if I can let go of his previous series and actually give this book a chance, I will like it for its own sake. The next on my list is If on a Winter's Night a Traveller by Italo Calvino. I'm over halfway through this one, guys. It shouldn't be that hard. So I love the works of Calvino, and I love the metafiction particularly of this book. My problem with it has been that it contains such great ideas, the book you can never finish, the concept of reading, that I don't want to rush it. I read a chapter and then I want to muse on it for a few months. But it's starting to get ridiculous now. There's only a certain extent to which you cannot finish If on a Winter's Night a Traveller without it starting to look like the book has got to you, and its lost endings are becoming real. I'm then going to go back to YA and return to The Declaration by Gemma Malley. I think I quite liked the beginning of this trilogy. A world in which everyone lived forever and new children were now illegal. That sounded like something I once tried to write. I think my problem was, at the time, I'd read so much YA dystopia that I just couldn't handle anymore. I think my break has now been long enough. I can just about return. And finally, I'm going to finish a reread. The Restaurant at the End of the Universe by Douglas Adams. Yes, I've read them before and I have no doubt that I will read them again and again and again. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series is just a great and comforting story to just hide in every once in a while. I know you get through life easier with your towel, but I'd like to addend to that statement that you get through life easier with this trilogy as well. So as I understand this tradition, I will report back to you at the end of January telling you how I've done. Maybe I'll have just thrown a tantrum and started a load of new books. That does sound quite like me. But I will try. Tell me what you think of those books I'm going to try and read, especially if you've read any yourself. And maybe have a look at my giant currently reading pile. I'll link it down below. Tell me what of those I should finally get round to finishing. Anyway, with that, I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.